All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this interview with Nicol Donner. I'm Tanya Gonzalez Ortega with New Earth Consciousness, and Nicole and I connected about I feel like it was last year, maybe? Can't remember. Anyway, she is a mindset coach, mentor, trainer, an amazing woman with a lot of gifts to share, a lot of deep wisdom and insight. And so I'm excited to just have her here to have a conversation to talk about what it is that she does for women, people in general. Do you work with men ever? Or is it mostly
Yes, I do. And I actually do love it. And I feel like I have a lot of gifts for them. So I do not want to exclude them.
beautiful?
So, mm,
Yeah. And so, yeah, so tell the audience where you're from and a little bit about your background and yeah, the things that you do.
yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm so honored to be invited by you, and I'm totally excited for the conversation and the time we're going to share. And I'm actually in the movement and fitness industry for like over 25 years. So, there's the mindset part, there's the mental training part, there's also the energetic part, which I'm very, very connected to. So, over time, you discover your gifts, you discover how people respond to you, what are you giving and what's reacting and what is not. So as we grow up and as persons and get educations, all those things merged in my world, like the physical training part, the mental training part, the mind training part, and the soul speaking training part, and to merge all these, all our systems in a more harmonic way, in a more flowing way. To we have so many systems, depending on which direction you want to talk to. It's like literally just the biological system, we have the chakra systems, we have so much systems, and sometimes we're just aware of one, but there's so much more in interaction. So over the time, I not just trained people, I started observing them. I started to feel what their body were talking to me instead of their mind were talking to me, like work me out, but the body was screaming like I need, rest and relaxation, or just a different kind of movement. So in all my personal trainings, people started to talk differently to me as they felt like in a safe space. So it got more into a coaching. And then I always had to, and I also, in all I did business coaching and fitness. So in different kind of areas, and mostly people also not only needed the training, which is always good to, be in touch with your physical movement and also training, of course, but also to align it with your mental state, with your mind. How do I think about my body, my work, my life? It all gets in one place, hopefully in a good conversation in ourselves. And very oftentimes it's not in a good conversation. So I'm very, grateful to be able to work in a space to get awareness for people, to be able, we are able to speak differently to ourselves. We are able to move differently if our body, if we start to listen to our body differently.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that always come out differently, importantly, in different times in our lives. So over the time, that's why I also, I have of course male clients, I work with kids, I work with elderlies, I work with all ages. So I'm always, I would feel taken something from me if I would only go for one age or one kind of person, knowing by now that I do have gifts for, more than one direction. And I'm more than grateful to share those gifts with those people that feel drawn to me and be like, oh, she's the kind of person I got to work with, I have to work with. We mostly have keys for each other. So that's where I'm,
Yeah,
grateful to share my gifts.
yeah, definitely. It's it seems to me more and more we're realizing that the body is something that we need to reconnect with, right? Like, I feel like when I started doing yoga, which is, very much about the body and being, but there was this aspect to at least what I was taught. It felt very rigid, very masculine approach to, controlling the mind, controlling the body, focusing your meditation, like very rigid. And what I'm hearing more and more about is in so many different areas of this idea of like the divine feminine coming
Mm.
more and more into the forefront, right? Because it's been suppressed, rejected, like um, dominated, and it's this awakening to the divine feminine. I'm wondering if you could talk to people about how does that, do you notice that in your work with people?
Yes, and most of the time, we as body worker or the coaches, consultants, healers, all these. First of all, we mostly feel it in ourselves, those changes. So, and actually, I'm very much deep diving this whole year into this feminine, masculine energy topic, emotions, energy, emotions, and to yeah, bring those imbalance inside of me. And the same thing I do observe exactly was that my job, being in front of them, leading the group, being the trainer, I was literally living in this masculine energy for such a long time. So I just said the other day also, where I was like, seeing myself, but not being in touch with myself internally, and way more not being in touch with this kind of divine feminine and feminine energy of myself. So I took on the journey, and mostly, some things happened. I had a knee surgery. I was lying down, and I had to recover, which is like a couple of years ago. But then this journey started where I was like, so if I don't have this masculine physical movement part of me, it's not what's left, but what else is there? So I had to, I literally went on a journey, and like even more this year, and with all these changes happening, all this feminine energies, yes, they are rising, and it's really, really important, but for all of us, because I think, mm, the masculine have been taken off their masculinity because were we had to take on so much masculinity, working in a different way, things like that. Us as feminine have been taken away from all this femininity because we were so masculine. So we really need as you said, a getting back in touch or in connection with our bodies. I have a feminine body. So I do, I embody this feminine energy, even if I, of course, have both of them in me. So then I get goosebumps speaking about it, because I also have the feeling that we're so much talking about the feminine energy, but we also in the same moment need to, like, literally forgive or get in touch, get lovingly in touch with our masculinity also, but in a different way. So it's a little bit of a, what is it, a switch around, a turnaround, getting things in balance, like, I'm a dancer, so for me it would be like getting in this new dance with our energies, like in the natural way, where the masculine is to lead us, to be supportive, and the feminine is to be like, this is what I need, this is my idea, this is my creation, and the masculine part helps us to birth and to bring it into the physics, into life. So yeah, and it's very, very much important, I think, that those energies are on the rising. I do see that too.
Yeah. So I'm curious, you talked a little bit about how you started out as a physical trainer, but then things started to evolve. So I imagine people came to you and they're like, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to strengthen my core, or I want to do something with my physical body. And then that shifted to where something deeper. It seems to me that the work that you're doing is about this embodiment, fulfillment, discovering who you really are, and experiencing it through the body. Am I right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because, and that's why, but nowadays I'm like, so where do I start? Do I start offering personal training? Do I start offer life coaching? So, as the work always like somehow comes together in the middle, because even when you want to start a physical journey training something, it's more than just your body you need to bring, because you want to be at least motivated, and there are so many aspects. Like, people come to me, I think I have to do it, I have pain, so I have to do it. But to get yourself in the state of the importance for yourself to do it, so this is then where always the journey starts, and different kind of topics come up. And of course then you start to chit chat sometimes over when it starts with the personal training, and there are the topics that present different things. Or exactly, if you come from the other side, and it's like, yeah, but this kind of movement actually could help you to integrate those topics, to get embodied a little more in your body, to feel your body. It doesn't always have to be the hardcore training. Sometimes it starts with walking, sometimes it starts with turn on the music at home and just move around, to feel yourself, to see what kind of movement comes out of what is my kind of music, what does turn me on, what does turn me off, these kind of things, even in a broader perspective. So yeah, that's where it's always more than that. And I'm by now, so yeah, I always want to be or make aware that, please, people, it's always the whole thing. It's always the whole system you bring. It's a holistic point of view. We should be, I say lovingly, should be taking on, if we want to start a journey from one or the other side, because it all works so harmonically together if we let it. If we don't put one at a side. And this is what I'm spreading out to people's heart, like, and even for that, if you want to start physically, I'm here. If you want to start mentally, I'm here. And it's always nice to merge those things from one or the other side.
Mhm. So do you offer, yeah, what do you offer? Do you offer programs? What if someone wants to come work with you, what can they expect?
I do like to make it like really individually still. So, and I do group calls and stuff like this, as a supportive mindset coach, for example. But then it's like, oh yeah, and of course we're humans, we are bodies, we are like the wheel that we have so many similar topics, of course. But still, it's the one starts from one side, the other person starts from the other side. One is a quick person, one is a slower person, so everybody needs a slightly different approach. And this is what I do like to support in that way. So it's not like, oh, you know, if you come to me, I work like pop, 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 and then it's got to be good for you, because that, I connect with the person and with the topics they bring. So, and then we can find out what the person needs. Of course, in the back of my mind, I have like so many programs I can then, start pulling down from myself, or that I already applied on people and that do work. But then it's always this slight, change for everybody individually. And this is what I like. And I mean, I would like to be treated like that too. So yeah, this is what I like to offer.
So it's a much more intuitive, organic, individualized approach, really tuning into what the person needs, and then you bringing, so one could expect that if they were to come to you and say, well, this is what's going on with me, and this is where I would like to go, or this is what I need help with. And then you would bring in, I imagine, mindset work and an actual like physical things that the person can do, physical movements, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly. Because, and even if somebody, sometimes I got to do something, I got to start someplace, but I don't really have the clue. Some people come, I need this and this and that, and some people come, they're like, yeah, I know I got to do something, I know something's not right with me, help, this kind of state. So even there, to first of all figure out what it's really about. Sometimes people think, oh, it's about this, and then something totally else, something totally different comes up before you can go to the next part or the next topic. And to not negate those things just because somebody says like, oh, it's got to be this. Yeah, but we got to look at this part too, so that sometimes people need to be aware of that also, and be open, of course, be open, and to yeah, sometimes it's a little turnaround, but it's all good, that's all that belongs to the journey, to the, it depends. Sometimes it's just I guess, too, sometimes it's one session and people are like, oh, this the missing piece, I just needed this one conversation, talk, look into the topic. But sometimes it's a process, it's literally a transformation, it's just a starting point to a new direction, to a new something, and that takes some more time to really go through, or to really open doors for that.
Yeah, very cool. And so how can people get in touch with you?
I'm on Facebook. I'm available on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. You can, I think, most on both things. You can see my email address, and contact me, of course, through the messengers, and I will, get back to you. I think that's the most common things at the moment. I do have a website, but which is also to see on Facebook. So there are like some channels you can reach me, and I'm more than happy and welcome if everybody feels drawn to this kind of work, because sometimes it's there are people, of course, it's like, yeah, I know I have to start training or working out, but they do already want this different kind of approach because they know there's something more in the mix. Or even the people that are like, yeah, you know sorry, I know I want to start with my mindset, or mental training, I want to change my mindset, but I also want to take a new kind of routine or a new kind of discipline. So what can I support my body with if I change my mindset? Because there's this training and discipline part where we do have to do it again and again and again when we want to do those things. That's why those, body and mind things work so good together. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine one of the things that maybe you do to support people is just to kind of like hold them accountable, keep them committed, right?
Yeah, very much. That's what I'm doing for a long time. So I can be this pain in the ass trainer, yes, but I can also be this very passionate person of having the patience, knowing that things need their time, because I've been through it myself. I started training and I had to do this thing every day. Other than that, it wouldn't have worked out. So I had to stick to my discipline, no matter how I was like, hey, I can't. No, I had to do it every day because I had a goal. I had to, I wanted to go someplace. But even though through my own journey, and even talking about this feminine thing, I had to also go to these places to be compassionate with myself, that I'm not lazy if I'm not moving today, to be receptive for new ideas in the most still and not moving way. So I know both parts very, very well by now. That's why, I also, I just can invite everybody from those places that feel like they need that they need the kick in the butt,
Yeah.
or that really need, like, I'm running in circles and I don't know where to stop, then I will be the one that be like, hold on,
Slow down.
we take a deep breath, and now we're going to look at it, from a different kind of view. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can see the balance of, um, yeah, knowing when it's time to take action and
Mm-hmm.
it's just time to receive and allow yourself to be more soft and open and receptive. Um, yeah, it's pretty profound. Um, Wonderful. Is there anything else more that you'd like to share?
Oh, I got so much to share, but I'm also very, very happy if I can share with the people that need or that want, this kind of support, and to be able to, connect with those individuals and beautiful souls that will be like, I want to pick on your wisdom part. I want to pick on your journey. I want to pick on the methods you learned. So yeah, and the most sharing part is like, don't shy to take those steps, because of, as sometimes we're in this place like, yeah, it's still got to be fine for another, I don't know, 3 months, 5 days, 5 years, next year. But things are not running smoothly, things are not going really forward, and we're just pushing this decision of, maybe I should take someone at my side. We're just still pushing it away, and sometimes this is already the overdue part, where it's like, reach out to somebody, and it doesn't, and even maybe, that's why I'm also more drawn to, not always put it's got to be 12 weeks, it's got to be so many times. um, just reach out and see what is needed. So yeah.
So I just want to let everybody know, like, Nicol is approachable. Um, just, if this resonates and you're like, oh yeah, I just, I want to like get back in touch with my body and, you know, be more in tune with my joy. I know, Nicol, you're getting over your illness there, like so many people right now. But I just wanted to let people know that Nicol is someone that absolutely you can trust. She's not gonna like be all, how some people out there on the internet, I find a lot of coaches that are very salesy. They try to manipulate you into buying, like, and that's not what you're gonna find with Nicol. That's not who she is. You can just reach out to her and just have a conversation, and if her work resonates, then you can connect with her, and I imagine, Nicol, you do your work over Zoom, and yeah,
Yes, yes, of course.
yeah. So very
Yeah.
lovely woman. She knows her stuff. Don't be shy.
No.
Don't be shy. There's nothing, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing good.
Yeah, just as first of a nice conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so true. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
And I already thank for this nice conversation with you, dear Tanya. It's so nice to connect. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, there's just we do good work, and we serve our people from our hearts and with full present awareness, and yeah, that's kind of the bottom line. And so um, thanks to everyone who is watching, and feel free to
Yeah.
ask questions in the comments. Yeah, and Nicol, thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting again soon.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you,
Awesome.
everybody,
Excellent.
for taking the time to listen to us and to watch us. Exactly.
Wonderful. Blessings.